Hi guys, welcome back. In this video, you are going to see answers for all in-text questions from chapter Carbon and its Compounds from your grade 10 Science NCERT Science textbook. So fourth chapter, Carbon and its Compounds. Let us see all answers for all the in-text questions. In page number 61, we will get a question that what would be the electron dot structure of carbon dioxide which has the formula CO2? So now we have to write electron dot structure of CO2. First, if you see elements, carbon and oxygen both are there. Carbon atomic number is 6, oxygen atomic number is 8. If you write electronic configuration, it will be 2, 4, and while coming to oxygen, it is 2, 6. Now 4 is valency electrons for carbon, 6 valence electrons will be there for oxygen. Now, if you see chemical formula, it is CO2, 1 carbon and 2 oxygens. You can draw 1 oxygen here, another oxygen here, and carbon. Now for oxygen, 6 valence electrons can be drawn 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can represent electrons with cross or with dot. However, you want, you can represent it. Again, while coming to this oxygen, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 valence electrons. Next carbon, valency is 4. You can represent like 1, 2, 3, 4. Now this oxygen atomic number is 8. It is not stable. 10 is nearest stability element, so that 8, it will be trying to become 10 by sharing 2 electrons from the carbon. This oxygen will take 2 electrons from this carbon. Hence, if you observe number of electrons in the circle 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the 6 will become 8. 8 plus 2, that is 10. Hence it is following octet rule now. Next, while coming to this oxygen, it will share 2 electrons from this carbon and this will share, hence it will become stable. While coming to carbon, this carbon will share 2 electrons from this oxygen and 2 electrons from this oxygen. Hence carbon also will get 8 electrons. This 4 will become 8. 8 plus 2, it will be 10. Like that, CO2 is formed. And this is electron dot structure. Here one pair of electron, you have to draw a bond. For this pair, you have to draw another bond. Here 1 and 1. At last you can write it like O double bond C double bond O. Next question. What would be the electron dot structure of molecule sulfur, which is made up of 8 atoms of sulfur? Hint they have given, it will be joining together to form a ring. You see guys, sulfur, its atomic number is 16. If you write electronic configuration, it is 2, 8, 6, 16. Now 6 is outermost orbit and 6 valency electrons this sulfur has. Now we can draw like sulfur with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 electrons. You can represent. Now you see they have given a hint, it can form a ring. You see guys, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like that 8 sulfurs you can take. So here you have to represent 6 electrons, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for this sulfur, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like that you can represent 6 electrons for all these sulfurs. And you can observe, not here, these two. Here, this one electron will be combined, bonded with this another electron of this sulfur, and this electron will bond with this. Like that, you can find all single bonds between sulfurs. You can draw either like this, or you can draw in form of crown also. Here you can observe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sulfurs are there, which is formed like this. Like that you can draw this or this, both are correct. Next, how many structural isomers can you draw for pentane? Pentane, first try to understand its structure. Pent, C5, it is ane. Ane means alkane. Alkane formula CnH2n plus 2. So it will become C5H, 2 into 5, 10 plus 2, 12, H12. Now how to draw? Here you can observe it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here 3 hydrogens, so it will become CH3 bond, CH2 bond, CH2 bond, CH2 bond C. Here 3 will be there, so it will be CH3. You can draw in form of a chain, or you can remove this CH3 from here. Wherever you want, you can keep this CH2 or CH3. You can remove CH3, you can place, right? Like that, you can draw one long chain, and you can draw one branch here, and you can remove another one. You can draw two branches here, first, second, third. Like that, how many structural isomers are possible means 3, and again you cannot remove this one and you cannot add it here. So how many structural isomers are possible? 3 are possible. Next, what are the two properties of carbon which lead to huge number of carbon compounds we see around? Why carbon is so versatile element? If they ask, you can say because of two properties, catenation and tetravalency. Catenation nothing but it is the ability to form bond with other atoms of carbon. How many? Other 4 atoms. It can form 4 atoms. Here tetravalency, you can call it as 4, valency of 4, but while coming to catenation, you see not only 4, more than 4 also. Simply to say catenation is nothing but ability to form a long chain by combining one atom with the same identical atom. So here you can observe carbon with 4 valency like this, and it can combine with another carbon, it can combine with another carbon, it can combine like that. You can see one carbon is bonding with the same identical atoms, that is carbon. This method, this property is known as catenation. And while coming to another one, that is tetravalency. Tetra nothing but 4, so it has 4 valencies, such that carbon is capable of bonding with 4 other atoms. It can form with 4 other atoms, or it can bond with same carbon also. So these are the two properties, catenation and tetravalency. What will be the formula of electron dot structure of cyclopentane? Guys, whenever you get a question, cyclo, just you go with the formula alkene. What is the general formula for alkene? CnH2n. What they have given? Cyclo. Whenever they have given cyclo, go with alkene, and it is pentane. They may give alkane, but go with alkene. So simply to say, go with pentene. What is the pentene? Pent means 5. It will become C5H, 5 2s 10H10. Now you can draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 carbons, and you can arrange hydrogens such that bond will be formed. Draw the structures for the following compounds: ethanoic acid, bromopentane, butanone, hexanol. You see guys, ethanoic acid, how to draw? First of all, you see eth. Eth means meth, eth 2. So 1, 2. Meth, eth. An stands for alkane, single bond. Oic acid. Oic carboxylic acid. What is the functional group of carboxylic acid? C, double bond O, single bond OH. Right. Now this is a C, second C. You can draw double bond O, single bond OH. Now if you observe this carbon, satisfied 4 valencies. While coming to this carbon, only 1, 2, 3, 4. You can represent hydrogens here, such that it will become meth and this is meth, eth and oic acid. Next, bromopentane. First try to draw pentane. How to draw? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pent. Ane means alkane. All single bonds should be there. And bromo. At last you have to arrange. You have to keep Br, bromine, such that it will become bromopentane. Hence you can draw all hydrogens here. Next, what they have asked? Butanone. You see guys, butanone. Here but, but, meth, eth, prop, but. So there should be 4 carbons. 1, 2, 3, 4. An stands for alkane, all single bonds between carbon, single bond, single bond, single bond. It is one. One stands for ketone. What would be the structure? C, single bond, this side's carbons only should be there, double bond O. Now you can draw for this, or you can draw for this. You have only chances, but you cannot draw for this and for this, right? So here you can observe double bond O, that is ketone, and for remaining carbons you can draw hydrogens as usual. such that it will become meth, eth, prop, bute, single bonds an, butane, ketone, keyword is one, it will become butanone. Now, what they have asked? Hexanol. Hexanol. You see, hex means 6, and alkane, all means aldehyde. What is functional group aldehyde? Double bond O for carbon and single bond H, not OH. If you have drawn OH, it will become oic acid. Now you see, hex means 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it is an. An in the sense single bonds between carbon. Like this, you can draw single bonds. And all stands for aldehyde. For aldehyde, double bond O, single bond H. Here you can find double bond O, single bond H. Like that, you have to draw structures. Next, if they give structure, how to name it? You see, here you have given CH3 bond CH2 bond Br. Now let us try to write that one. First count carbons, meth, eth. So it will become eth, and between carbon single bond and here if you observe bond Br means bromine, and it will be suffix, right? So bromine should be named in front. It will become bromoethane. So simply you can write it as alkane ANE. It will become bromoethane. And you see the second one carbon you have. One carbon means meth, all single bonds only, and you see functional group double bond O, single bond H. Here only we have discussed double bond O, single bond H means aldehyde. Keyword is all. Hence it will become methanol. And you have to name this one meth, eth, prop, bute, pent, hex. Right? Meth, prop, bute, pent, hex. It will become hex. And no functional groups, leave it. But if you observe 3 bonds means alkane, alkene, alkyne, it will become ine, alkyne. It will become hexine. You can observe here bromoethane, methanol, hexine. Next, guys, those who are writing 2021 exam, for these guys, you can stop reading up to here because these concepts got deleted for board examination. But if you are writing after 2021, you need to read everything. Now you see, why is the conversion of ethanol to ethanoic acid is an oxidation? You see guys, ethanol, first of all, ethanoic acid. Here this is ethanol. Ethanol nothing but alcohol, CH3 bond CH2OH. Because if you write this one, it will be CH3 CH2OH. Bond OH is functional group for alcohol. It is ethanol. If you are heating that ethanol, I mean if you are heating that alcohol in presence of potassium permanganate or potassium dichromate, automatically this alcohol will become ethanoic acid. Ethanol will become ethanoic acid. And if you observe, they are asking why it is an oxidation reaction, since conversion of ethanol to ethanoic acid involves addition of hydrogen to ethanol. So oxygen is given to that. Here you can observe one oxygen, but here you can observe two oxygens. Addition of oxygen is nothing but oxidation. Hence, conversion is oxidation. A mixture of oxygen and ethane is burned for welding. So this is information they are giving. Oxygen and ethane, meth, but it is ine. There will be triple bond, and oxygen plus O2. Burn for welding. Can you tell why mixture of ethane and air not used? Why only oxygen? Why not air? It is quite simple. When ethane is burnt in air, it gives sooty flame. Means it will produce some black substances, right? Dirt, everything it will produce. This is due to incomplete combustion. Whenever there is incomplete combustion, it will produce black soot because there will be limited supply of air. However, if ethane is burnt with oxygen, in presence of oxygen, it gives a clean flame with temperature 3000 degrees Celsius because of complete combustion. Here, because of incomplete combustion, you got sooty flame. Because of complete combustion, it will give clean flame. So that only mixture of oxygen and ethane burned for welding. Here, mixture of ethane and air is not used, only mixture of ethane and oxygen is used. That is the concept. Page number 74 in text questions. How would you distinguish experimentally between alcohol and carboxylic acid? So how can you say? By doing some experiment. It is quite simple. In metals or non-metals or acid bases and salts, you have learned this concept. In acid bases and salts, if acid is added to metal carbonate or metal hydrogen carbonate, it will give one salt. At the same time, water is produced and carbon dioxide is also produced when acid is added to metal carbonate and metal hydrogen carbonate. What happens if alcohol is added to metal carbonate or metal hydrogen carbonate? Gives rise to no reaction. So that easily we can identify the difference between alcohol and carboxylic acid. That's it. 2. What are oxidizing agents? Simple. Oxidizing agents, nothing but oxidizer is a substance that has ability to oxidize other substances, that has ability to produce oxygens to other substance, give oxygen to other substance, known as oxidizing agents. Here, how would you be able to check if water is hard by using detergent? There are two types of water. First one is hard water, second one is soft water. By using detergent, can you say which one is hard and which one is soft? That is the question they are asking. You see guys, detergents of ammonia or sulfonate salts of long chain carboxylic acids. What is meant by detergent? Detergents are ammonium or sulfonate salts of long chain of carboxylic acid. But while coming to soap, unlike soap, they do not, which one? Detergents do not react with calcium and magnesium ions present in hard water. In hard water, calcium ions and magnesium ions will be present, and those detergents, they cannot mix with the calcium and magnesium to form scum. If soap is combining with calcium magnesium, that soaps will produce scum, but detergents, they do not produce scum. What it will do, instead of producing scum, they give good amount of lather, irrespective of whether the water is hard or soft. So if detergents are added to soaps or hard water or soft water, they do not produce any scum, they will produce only lather. This means detergents can be used in both soft and hard water. Therefore, it cannot be used to check whether water is hard or not. So answer is no, we cannot use detergents to test whether it is hard or soft, to say whether it is hard or soft. That is the answer, you have to write it. People use a variety of methods to wash clothes. Usually after adding a soap, they beat the cloth on stone or beat it with a paddle, scrub with a brush, or the mixture is agitated in a washing machine. Why that agitation necessary to get clean clothes? Right. So they will agitate. Why they will agitate that clean clothes? Why they will rub that clean clothes in water? Simple. A soap molecule has two parts, hydrophobic and hydrophilic. I think so you know what is hydrophobic, hydrophilic. You see, this is the structure of soap molecule. This one is hydrophobic, which will not dissolve in water. And this one is hydrophilic, which will be dissolving in water. And this tail part will be attaching to oil or grease. So with the help of these, it attaches to the grease or dirt particle and forms cluster called micelle. So if there is oil, consider this is oil, and this hydrophobic hydrophilic will be like this, and this is nothing but micelles, and these micelles remain suspended as a colloid. In water, all these micelles will be present. So to remove these micelles, it is necessary to agitate cloths. So you need to rub that cloth, you need to dip it in water, you have to you apply pressure on the cloth. Why you have to do that thing? Because to remove these micelles. That is the concept you have to write. These all answers for all in-text questions from your chapter 4 carbon and its compounds. Guys, if you are in 2021 March examination and if you are writing that one, you can read up to here and these topics got deleted. But if you are writing 2022 23 something examinations, you have to read all these concepts. So that's it in this lecture.